And welcome to another week of our Travel Wise Talks that happens every Wednesday at 2 p.m. If you were with me since August, thank you for joining our journey. And if you joined us all throughout October where we celebrated Filipino American history, thank you again. We have I'm sorry about that, working from home. We have another lineup, and this week will actually be something different, something special that we're going to be rolling out on our show today. This week will be a little bit different as we roll out a new series introducing cruising, and we'll be bringing on a special guest. I'm delighted to introduce Max Cabin from TravelWise, and he will be bringing to us updates from our industry partners and events, as well as the inside scoop on what to expect when you return to the seas. So, as we switch gears, I want to take this moment to engage with everybody and tell me if you've been on a cruise or if you dream of going on a cruise after all the craziness kind of settles down. If you've been on a cruise before, tell me you cruised before. If you're a first timer and plan to go next year, tell me also. Love to hear the engagement, love to see who's out there cruising, and maybe you might be interested in Royal Caribbean for one of your future sailings. So just to start, I will tell you a little bit about Max Cabin. I'm going to go and hide my screen just so that you can see his full credentials. Max joined us. I'm sorry about that. Let me switch that. I guess you can't change it over. Max joined us in 2017 and brought with him 10 years of corporate hospitality in operations and customer service. His first trip out of the country was on a cruise, which made him realize how little we knew about the world at sea and how much we wanted to allow others to experience similar feelings. Max has helped put together both small family groups and large groups of over 50 passengers. He is now our dedicated cruise counselor and will be the host of our TravelWise Talk series. When working, Max enjoys going out for a run and experimenting in the kitchen. So please, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you our new host, introducing their new series of Cruise Talks, Max Cabin.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Marielle, for that great introduction. My name is Max Cabin with TravelWise International, and I am so glad to be here with you today. Most importantly, also, thank you all for tuning in. I'm glad that you're all viewing this show, and I'm glad to be your host for this new series we're putting together. Many of you know our agency for our specialization in the Philippines and our involvement in the local community, but I'm actually here to talk to you about something a little different than Marielle mentioned, cruising, and why you should book with TravelWise, and how we better prepare our passengers for the next cruise. Every Tuesday, starting November 17th, I'll be here to provide you with important updates and information about our future cruise groups, the ships we'll be on, and the destinations we're sailing to. This comes at no better perfect time since next week I'll actually be attending the annual Cruise World Conference to learn the latest and greatest about all the major cruise lines. But most importantly, I'll be able to provide you some inside scoop. I'll also be having another show here on Facebook next week after the event, so on Saturday, November 14th, make sure you tune in for my post-conference event here on Facebook. As for today's agenda, we will be hearing directly from our strategic account manager, Amy Bonheim, with Royal Caribbean International. Amy will be answering a few questions for all of us and providing some insight on what the major cruise line has been up to and what we can expect in the coming months. We will then have a short question and answer at the end, so please make sure you type any questions you might have in our chat box below, and we'll do our best to get to all of them. To all of our viewers, similar to what Marielle asked earlier, leave in the chat box and let us know, has anyone ever been on a Royal Caribbean cruise before? And if so, show Amy some love and support and let us know where you went. Were you able to go this year? If you were before, the unfortunate coronavirus happened, it'd be great to know if you were able, one of the lucky ones, to get out there on the seas. So one of our closest industry partners is Royal Caribbean International. And many of you know them as a family-friendly cruise line that offers a wide variety of options that sails to over 300 destinations. From small, intimate ships to some of the larger mega ships in the water, depending on the destination, they have a ship for you. Today, I am delighted to say that we have one of our close friends and experts in the cruise industry, Amy Bonheim from Royal Caribbean, here with us. Amy is a DC native, born right here in the DC area, and lived all over the Virginia area, San Francisco, Miami, and she's actually back here in DC now with us. She's been in the sales and marketing industry for 9 years and the cruise industry for 5 of them. Amy loves all things about Royal Caribbean. I'm so glad to have her here with us today. Please join me in welcoming Amy to the stage.
Hello.
Hey, Amy. How are you doing?
Oh, well, it is getting cold here in DC, and it's the day after Election Day, so it's quiet and calm. So,
Maybe a little colder than usual.
oh, it sure is, but just so thankful that you are here welcoming me on board today. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and hello, everyone who is here watching us live.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I know cruising has been a topic of discussion in the news lately, and I'm so glad things are starting to turn around for our industry, your industry, but mainly for cruising, which is why we're here today to have a little discussion. I'm really happy we can meet like this and talk about something light, something fun, and really something we can start preparing for the future on. I mean, I know a lot of things happening we can't necessarily prepare for, but our next cruise or next vacation is definitely something that a lot of people will look forward to booking or looking forward to planning with us.
Absolutely. We cannot wait to be back in the water. We cannot wait to have all of you on board.
Oh, man, I can't wait. So, without further ado, let's jump into some questions. I know some of our viewers who are on. Again, thank you to everyone who's tuned in. I can't wait to hear about what Royal has been up to. And again, who better to hear from than our friend and expert in the industry. So, as you all know, the cruise industry has been a whirlwind since early this year. And when some of the first, coronaviruses were affecting some of the major cruise lines, this affected the cruise industry, in such a huge way and halted sailings, worldwide almost until now, just until this last weekend when the CDC finally lifted the no sail order put in place, that they've continued to extend, over the past few months. So, Amy, first off, what has Royal Caribbean International been up to these past few months since the no sail order was implemented?
Well, so many things. I mean, as you know, business does not stop. So thankfully, we did have quite a few things that we were completing. And as you know, Odyssey of the Seas, we are making sure to amplify her and complete her. And she'll be coming to us early next year.
Awesome.
We've been working a lot on, of course, bringing things more to the digital world, as everyone is in 2020, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Healthy Sail Panel, they have really come together it's a team of 11 experts in all different types of fields, psychology, maritime operations,
wow.
Just so many different areas that have really come together to propose different things to the CDC. So that way, hopefully soon, we will be back in the water.
Awesome. Now, I know you mentioned the Healthy Sail Panel. I know it's a new panel that was brought together in light of coronavirus and everything happening, and I really think it's a great way for the industry to advocate, on their behalf or on the cruise line's behalf, really to get us back in the seas. Was this panel only consisting of people in the cruise industry, or was it? I think you said also maritime operations, but as well as was it medical professionals as well?
It absolutely is. So there's actually people who have previously worked in for the CDC, people who have worked in just so many different areas. Mm-hmm. There's doctors, as I mentioned, psychologists. So there are some people who are actually from the cruise industry that will kind of help bridge the gap between healthcare and health and safety on board. Okay. And at the end of the day, number one priority always by Royal Caribbean will always be the health and safety of our crew and of our guests.
Oh, yeah.
So, I have so much faith in this in Royal Caribbean and in the Healthy Sail Panel. So I'm excited to see what is going to come out.
Yep.
But stay tuned.
Now, is it only specific to Royal Caribbean, or are other major cruise lines also participating?
No, that's a really good question. So, as you know, Royal Caribbean is part of Royal Caribbean Group, mm-hmm. and that consists of Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Azamara, Silver Sea. But I think one of the most amazing things is that Royal Caribbean Group has actually come together with Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, and their team, their entire group of cruise lines as well. And they have come together to make sure that the Healthy Sail panel is here to influence not just Royal Caribbean, but really to bring everyone together in the industry. And it makes me so proud because to work for a company that is here to not just benefit itself, but to really benefit everyone. And we can't wait to get back in the water. And so soon.
No, I know. I can't either. I mean, well, so, real quick on the Healthy Sail Plan, is this something that's applied to other industries, or is this only for the cruise industry and only for Royal and, like you said, Norwegian?
So, everything that they have proposed to the CDC is whenever this gets approved, it will be made available to other industries and any other companies in the health, in travel and leisure and hospitality. But at the end of the day, each cruise line is different. So every cruise line and every company is going to have to do what works for their company. But it is going to be made available because at the end of the day, we are a team. The travel industry, we are all in this together. So we want to make sure that all of this hard work is available to the public.
No, I think that's great that so many professionals, even in different industries and different paths, are coming together, to not only ensure the well-being of Royal's guests and crew, but also to help get us back on the water.
Absolutely.
And I know some other things that Royal's been up to. I know one of the things they've been really trying to revamp and do a lot more with now, in light of the extra time they might have, their application, their app on their smartphones. I think it's great what other industries also have been doing, with the whole less contact and just going everything digital and virtual. Now with Royal Caribbean's app, I mean, I think the last time I sailed for Royal Caribbean, I had the app at the time. But are there different features that they've been bringing out, or what can our passengers expect to see the next time they board a ship?
That's a really good question. Well, as you know, everything is always changing. And one thing I love about Royal Caribbean is that we are always looking ahead, and we're always looking at that, what is the next best thing. And, we've always had the app for anyone who is a cruiser or who has been on with Royal Caribbean before. I strongly suggest that you download the app and get acquainted with it. You can actually do your online check-in through the app. You can scan to get checked in. You can look at your onboard schedule if you want to make dining reservations. I mean, there's so much that you can do just at your fingertips. And then we've also, with all of the technology enhancements, have also started something called Muster 2.0. So that's a really exciting feature that we're excited to bring to the forefront. So we're always ahead of the game, and that's one of the many things I love about Royal Caribbean.
Gotcha. Now, is a new muster drill you mentioned, is that something done through the application?
So Muster 2.0 is something that you can do through your phone. And for those who don't have a smartphone, you can actually do it through your stateroom television as well. But in short, it's a way that we've changed how the muster drill is done when you arrive on board the ship. So gotcha. I'm assuming people who are watching this have cruised before, but for those of you who have never cruised, a muster drill is when you come together on board prior to the ship departing, and it's a way to go through the safety protocols in case of an emergency. So it's to make sure that okay, this is a life jacket if you've never seen one. But that's just an example. So traditionally you would come together and you would meet at a certain time with your muster station, and they would go through everything together, and you would kind of congregate in a group. And with Muster 2.0, we've brought it digital, where you can do it in your stateroom or on your phone, and you can actually do it on your own time. There's a 4-hour time frame where you can come on board and do it at your own time. So it's great, especially if you're traveling with a group, or if you have family or kids.
Yep.
We're all on different schedules, but it does make it a lot more personalized, in addition to the fact that we're removing that group experience. We're now making it so that way, if you have one-on-one questions, there is someone there to answer them for you. And if you are just like the life jacket example. If you've never put a life jacket on, like, no, don't worry, we're here to show you how to do it just in case. But it's a really, really wonderful process.
Awesome. And did the muster drill, did it happen and evolve, due to COVID?
That's a really good question. Actually, it did not specifically evolve because of coronavirus.
Gotcha.
It originally started. At the end of the day, we are always looking at ways to make the guest experience bigger and brighter and better than it was before. So it started really with an idea prior, and it just all came together this year. So it really did work out. It just worked out. It was the timing.
That's awesome. Have you guys tested it already on a ship prior to the no sail order?
Yes. So actually with Royal Caribbean specifically, we have tested it on Symphony of the Seas back in January.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it was very well received. And I'm really excited for people to be able to experience the new way that we are doing the muster drill. So I guess we're going to have to welcome you guys on board.
Yeah. Awesome. I guess one last question, because a lot of our guests are millennials, a lot of them have kids, a lot of them have smartphones. Now, with the app and with the muster drill being on the app, now, did you have to have Wi-Fi to use the app? Because I know a lot of people are kind of hesitant about, the Wi-Fi packages or making sure they have data. Or
That's a really good question. Yes. So for those of you who have never been on a cruise, you probably want to make sure that you're on airplane mode. But for, I will say we do have the best internet at sea. It's very quick. You can stream, but to use the app, you actually don't need to have Wi-Fi.
Oh,
so
awesome.
You can even go on the app now from home and go through it and play with it if you wanted to. And I know you mentioned families and children. So with the app, there is actually on some of our ships, there are some scavenger hunts and games to interact with. And that's a really fun feature, and I don't think it's just for families. I mean, I'm an adult and I would do it too. So anything to make it a little bit of a family competition, sign me up.
Right. No, I mean, these days, kids as young as, I think my nephew's 10 years old and he has a smartphone. So like you said, I mean, all age kids can use their smartphones on board.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's definitely some great innovative ways that Royal's, still doing things and keeping up with the safety requirements and then bringing more enhancements and updates, even through these times where things are constantly changing. It just shows that you guys haven't stopped working even during these times to improve guest experiences and really preparing for what happens when we do return to seas. So now that we know kind of what Royal's been up to, again, I'm sure there's tons of more new updates and enhancements coming along the way. But as you anticipate returning to seas, for our viewers watching, what would you say are some other reasons of why cruising is maybe a safer alternative than other means of taking a vacation?
Of course. I mean, well, as you know, you've been on a cruise before, so you know. I think, what is that song they sing? I'm gonna might give you the microphone here. Wash your hair, it's the right thing to do. Oh yeah.
I've heard that song a few times.
Jokes aside, honestly, I think one of the most amazing parts, especially with us being right here in the DMV area, I mean, for those who don't necessarily feel comfortable flying yet, we have so many options available where it's right here in our backyard. I mean, Baltimore, we sail out of Baltimore. We have Grandeur of the Seas. Yeah. And then Enchantment will be coming over. Enchantment of the Seas is going to be coming to Baltimore. So there's some wonderful, wonderful itineraries out of Baltimore. But we also sail out of Cape Liberty, which is just, for some of us, maybe 3 to 4.5 hours, depending on where you live in the DMV. So truly, there are so many amazing ways to travel right here in our backyard. And I think not just is it that our ships are innovative and we have such amazing technology, amazing shows, amazing dining, so many different things on board that are truly part of the experience, but we can go to so many different places. So just from the DMV, just from the Northeast ships, you have the opportunity, of course, working with the TravelWise team, but we have, you can go to the Southern Caribbean, you can go to Bermuda, you can go to the Bahamas, perfect day at Coco Cay, you can even do Canada and New England. I mean, honestly, there are so many options, and all within driving distance from the DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned New Jersey. That was actually the last port I went out of in the States. And next year, the Oasis is actually going to be there instead of Miami for summer. So just to give all of our viewers a little bit of something to look forward to, we actually will be doing a series tomorrow on the Oasis of the Seas. Just because, as Amy said, it's maybe not our backyard, but maybe still in the close proximity area. I mean, 3-4 hours away drive is a lot better than having to deal with a flight and having to deal with taking your kids and family on an airport. So again, not only Baltimore, obviously that's a lot closer for the people here in the DMV area, but also New Jersey, it's a less than a 4-hour drive away. I did it last time I sailed out of the East Coast. It's not a bad drive. You can definitely stop in Philadelphia or whatever on the way up there, and even make a trip to New York on the way. But that's some great information, Amy, and I'm more than happy to get back on the water, especially with all these things Royal Caribbean is doing. And I think I speak for our viewers and definitely myself when I say that, like, we're all just itching to get on the next, cruise vacation. I'm seeing comments, people saying, "I love Royal Caribbean." Just want to kind of give a shout out here. People are saying that Baltimore is a great port. People absolutely love Royal Caribbean. So it's awesome to hear that our viewers like the fact that we have Royal Caribbean here with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Honestly, it's an amazing, amazing opportunity. I mean, Royal Caribbean ships are truly amazing, and like you said, you said it was less than 4 hours from where you guys are. So definitely a wonderful experience. I'm about to go hop in my car and just I'm ready to go too.
Well, maybe, I mean, I can't say for sure. Maybe you'll be on the ship with us next summer.
Oh, you're got an invitation? Sign me up.
Oh man, but I think we have a little time for some questions that might have been asked during our show. Let's check our chat box. To all of our viewers watching now, if you did have a question that you want to ask or something that you want to bring up, please go ahead and type it in the chat box. We'll do our best to get to all of them before the end of our show today. Let's see if there's anything in here. I see one that says, "Amy, which ship are you most excited to see?" Alvin asks.
Ooh, well, first, happy birthday. I am most excited, I think, personally, to see Odyssey of the Seas. Mm-hmm. She is our brand new ship coming April of 2021, and she is an ultra quantum class ship. So I think one of the most amazing things about that is that, imagine for those of you who have been on Anthem of the Seas or Quantum of the Seas, imagine that, but just like times 10 because it's amplified and an ultra quantum class ship. So I'm really, really, really excited for that. She'll be doing Greek Isles, Holy Land, and sailing out of Florida, and lots of features on board. She's going to have the Sky Pad. I don't know if you guys know what the Sky Pad is, but the Sky Pad is a trampoline experience on board the ship. You can have a VR experience jumping up and down. It's just really exciting. So we have the Sky Pad, and our quantum class ships have something called the North Star, which is an arm. It goes 300 feet up in the air, and it's a 360-degree glass orb, and you truly cannot get any other view the way that you get a view up there. And insider tip, for those of you who go, I would definitely suggest sunrise or sunset. Those are really wonderful times to experience the North Star. You get really amazing views. And the best part about it is that no experience is the same, because you could be in one port one day getting a certain view, and you could be in another port the next day. So I'm really, really, really excited for that ship to arrive.
Yeah, funny you say that. The last time I was on the North Star was in the middle of the sea, so I didn't see too much. It gets a little insider tip. Also, plan ahead for all of the activities on board. I couldn't find a time slot when we were actually at the port I want to see, but again, it's an amazing experience. You can see just so much, even the sea. I love just looking out in the water and just seeing all the different colors and the blues, and especially in the Caribbean waters. Someone asked if we planned our outfits.
Maybe.
Well, Royal Caribbean does have blue tones in their logo, and so does TravelWise. So I guess we are always planning our outfits Let's see. Are the sailings for 2022 already available to book? Interesting.
Well, Max, I think you can answer that because.
Well, I know that some of the deployment schedules have been released next week for summer in 2022. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong. And
so yes, but you're right. So a lot of our deployment is still coming out, but
okay.
November, stay tuned. This month we have a lot of deployment coming out in November. So, I mean, thankfully you guys know who to call. Your travel expert. The Travel Wise team, they have all of the information for you. So if you are looking to book your next cruise, if you have an FCC from a previous cruise,
Mm-hmm.
or if you want to plan a family vacation, whatever it is that you are looking to do, they are truly experts in everything Royal Caribbean.
Thank you, Amy. I have a couple more questions here. Let's see. When's the best time to book triple or quad occupancy rooms? Oh, okay.
That's a good question. I wouldn't necessarily say when is the best time.
Just as soon as possible, right?
I mean, honestly, it's a good question because I think a lot of you who might be asking questions and looking at triples and quads are probably looking for families. Mm-hmm. But I will say there's always availability, first come, first served. Yeah, but I will say for November, I don't know if anyone knows, but our November offers actually includes kids sail free, and that mm-hmm. also includes certain summer dates. So if you do have family and you're looking to book with kids sail free, ages 12 and under are part of our kids sail free program. It's definitely something to look out to, and Max will be able to help you with that.
Oh yeah. I think we have time for maybe one more question that was asked during the show, and yep, it's actually on the screen now. Debbie asks, what's your favorite Royal Caribbean destination? Oh my gosh, that's a lot, right? What is your favorite destination, Amy?
Oh my goodness, there are seriously so many. I mean, I was literally trying to count how many cruises I've been on previously.
Don't tell me, I'll be jealous. That's not fair.
I couldn't even come up with a number. I was like, I wish I had saved all my CPAS cards. But I would say my current favorite destination is Perfect Day at Coco Cay.
Oh, that sounds great.
One, it is truly a perfect day for everyone, whether you like chills, whether you like thrills, excitement, adventure, or you like to relax on the beach. I mean, it is truly an experience for everyone. And you can get there from Baltimore. You can get there from Cape Liberty. You can get there from Florida. I mean, there's so many different ways and so many different ships that go there as well. But it's a really fun, intimate experience, and it is a Royal Caribbean private destination. Yep. So, for those of you who buy beverage packages, or for those of you who have gotten our Wi-Fi packages or anything like that, they do translate onto the island as well. So that's a wonderful, it's just a wonderful experience. I mean, Max, have you ever been to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, or where is your favorite?
I'm not going to lie, I haven't been there before. I'm actually planning on going next May on one of our group departures, which I'll be talking about probably later on this month. So I actually plan on going to Perfect Day at Coco Cay next year. I had a couple of things in line this year, but in light of everything happening, we had to make some other arrangements. But hopefully I'll be able to make it out to Coco Cay next May. Yeah, May. Little insight, May 9th, we'll be having our group departure right in time for Mother's Day. It's actually the first sailing from New Jersey on the Oasis. But more to come on our group departures for next year.
Yay!
But I think that's about enough. How much time we have for today's show. I really hope everyone watching enjoyed today's broadcast. If you did like the broadcast, If you liked the broadcast today, Amy definitely will be back. I'll go over our next kind of upcoming events after this. But I want to give a huge thank you to Royal Caribbean and also Amy Bonheim for joining us today. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and seeing you virtually is just as good, I guess. Can't wait till next time we get to meet up in person and catch up. But again, thank you so much for being here today, taking your spending your time and afternoon with me and providing all the insight and information for us as always.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much to everyone for all of your support of Royal Caribbean and TravelWise.
Yay! Thanks, Amy. So we have a lot of great shows lined up this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you here every Tuesday. Keep in mind, Tuesday, the 17th of November, we'll start our Tuesday cruise days at 2 p.m. So every week I'll be doing a show here, providing updates and information for all of you guys. Again, if you have any other questions, if we weren't able to get to your questions in the comment box, you can always reach out to our agency directly or myself. But to give you a rundown again, November 17th will be the first official Cruise Day Tuesday series, where I'll be discussing what's coming up in our groups and why you should join them. The last Tuesday month, I'll actually be going over our 2021 group roster, so you can start thinking about your next vacation, where it's going to be. It comes at a great time because you'll be with your family and over the holidays to really start figuring out what your plans will be for next year. And just as a reminder, I will be in Cruise World next week, so I won't be doing a show on Tuesday. I'll actually be doing a post-event follow-up show on Saturday. It'll be 10 a.m., so a little early if you don't get up that early on Saturdays. Don't worry, it'll be rebroadcast on Facebook and YouTube. But stay tuned and find out some updates on the Cruise World event. Also, I know some of you guys were expecting to see Marielle here today. I do apologize for taking up her airtime, but she'll be back next Wednesday at 2 p.m. to catch up with Cathay Pacific and what they've been up to, and some inside scoop on what the airlines have been doing. And then also on Wednesday, November 18th at 2 p.m. as well, we'll be catching up with the ambassador of the Philippine Embassy in D.C. for some inside scoops on what the Philippines and the Philippine Embassy has been up to. Again, I'm Max Cabin with TravelWise International. A big thank you to all of our viewers who tuned in today. I hope you enjoyed this segment on cruising, and I look forward to having you all watch the next coming shows. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our agency directly at 301-248-8898. That's 301-248-8898. Or you can email us at cruise@itravelwise.com. That's the word travel, and the word wise.com. You can also visit our website, itravelwise.com, for other information and some of our upcoming sailings. I can't wait to see you all at our next event, and thank you again for all